I am so excited for today's video. Today is all about Hollywood Glam. I feel like I've been seeing this style everywhere lately. I really could not do a video on Hollywood Glam, otherwise known as the Hollywood Regency style, but I just like Hollywood Glam. It sounds better. So Hollywood Regency style is a classic design style. It actually, goes back to the 1930s when Hollywood was really, well, not what it is today. Let's be honest. We're gonna say it was the golden age of Hollywood back in the 1930s. And I love this style. I mean, it's funny because I'm not a huge fan of like Art Deco, but you definitely see a lot of like Art Deco vibes and even some mid-century modern-ish vibes in the Hollywood Glam style. But Hollywood Glam or Hollywood Regency, however you want to call it, is really a design style to itself. I think what draws people to this style so much is that it's just opulent. I mean, it's more is more is more, and more is better in this style. I feel like it's one of those styles that, I don't know, you just feel like rich and fancy. At least I do. I don't know. There's something about it. I really like it. What makes Hollywood Glam? Hollywood Glam is using lots of rich colors and rich textures and a lot of layering, luxurious accents, and it's really like, it's not stuffy, it's not serious. It's actually a very playful style. I kind of feel like, you've got the boho, which is again very layered and whatnot, but then the Hollywood Glam is like, I think conceptually it's kind of like that same playfulness that you see in the boho style, but on a totally different like spectrum, like totally different look and feel, but still playful and fun. And I don't know, there's something to it. I don't know, maybe because I make YouTube videos and it's like my secret inner, like I want to be a star. I love this style. Did I say that yet? So how do you know if you've like nailed this style? Basically, if you think you've done too much, you've probably done it just right. Here are some of the top tips to get that style in your own home. Opposite of minimalism, this is maximalism, like go big or go home. This applies here. So think rich, vibrant colors, so different than so many of the styles that we've talked about. Like think of all the beautiful deep greens that we've been seeing a lot lately. That's been really on trend right now with the gold hardware. That is really quintessential Hollywood Regency style. I mean, that bold, beautiful, rich, deep color mixed with brass, golds, all of those metallic metals. That is really Hollywood Regency. Also the layering of textures. So think, velvets and silks and even like high contrast patterns is a big one in this. So, this is where if you have aspirations to use a wallpaper, go for it. This style really would lend well to the use of wallpaper in your space. And again, vibrant. But yet it's funny because another one of the trends is also like a black and white vibe. So you can do like that super colorful vibe, and then you can do like the black and white vibe. But even if you go with the black and white vibe, you still want those punches of like jewel tones in there, and that really kind of adds to that whole Hollywood Regency. But black and white is still a huge, like, it's such a divided contrast that it really is a bold statement, although it's technically not a color on either side, if that makes sense. So that being said, this could easily go very wrong. So there is a bit of a trick to getting this style right. So the trick to this style is to keep a lot of the decor in the same color palette and then bring in 1 to 2 patterns with it. So you're still using bold, but you're not going so crazy that it's kind of like almost dizzying, I guess, or like Hollywood puked on your living room. You know what I'm saying? So I think the key into tailoring this style is that you're using all of those and you're using them in a way that although there's a lot and more is more, it's still, with the limited patterning, you don't make it too busy. So although it's colorful and bold, or even black and white and the huge contrast, the limiting to 1 to 2 patterns help keep it from being overly busy in like a bad way. I feel like you can pull a lot off with this style, but you still gotta be a little bit cautious with some things so that it doesn't end up, I don't know, making your eyeballs hurt. So I already touched on this briefly, but black and white is a great, a staple to the Hollywood Regency style as well, adding in the jewel tones, but then it's that brass and that gold, and that is what takes it to the next level. Like, honestly, I feel like you couldn't really do a Hollywood Regency style without adding in the metallics. I feel like that's what really makes it. And we are seeing so many light fixtures, especially with a lot of these. So think about, the brass and gold hardware details that we've been seeing. Think about the brass and gold handle details that we've been seeing. Think about the brass and gold lights that we've been seeing. And then, having the light illuminating off of the metals. Oh, that is very Hollywood glam. So what I think is really interesting about this design style as well, that I think surprises a lot of people, is that the furniture is actually not the focal point. The furniture actually tends to be on the smaller scale, and it's actually very much to be tailored to an entertaining space. So when you think about laying out your space to encompass the Hollywood Regency style, you really want to think about how people are actually interacting with one another. And generally, this furniture is actually kept more on the smaller scale. Another typical feature with the furniture in this style is to have glossy or really lacquered pieces. So having those shiny items that just really pop is really typical in this design style. So the big thing with Hollywood Regency style is, the showstopper, the what to be highlighted is the decor. The decor is really what makes this style pop. So accent pieces, luxe fabrics and textiles. So think velvets and silks and even furs, faux fur, but even furs. So all of those textures and that layering of textures and the bold colors. So the brass and gold accent pieces, and then you've got the crystals, which are really big and important in this design style. Even the little fringe details. Think like flashy accessories. That really encompasses the Hollywood Regency style. The key takeaway of this style is maximize the glam. Bring in those beautiful rich colors that you absolutely love and are drawn to. Think about all of the metallics, and more is more in a tailored way, but using the tricks that I've outlined in today's video will really help you get that Hollywood glam style in your home. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you are enjoying this content, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. It really does help me out and I really appreciate it. And if you liked today's video, give it the big thumbs up. Thank you for stopping by, and until next time, bye.